Okay, Starfield and Bethesda Softworks is coming with another update. The last video I made on Starfield was talking about the update they made with the supposed over 100 fixes that were supposed to fix the quality of life of the game and just do a whole bunch of things that they promised. The update ended up to be a whole bunch of bug fixes that didn't really change the game in and of itself or address any of the complaints that the player base had. So Starfield just uploaded a video yesterday about another update in May coming where they're actually going to make some big changes. So did the developers actually listen? What's going on, y'all? It's 𝐵Righteous again from Identity with another Starfield video. And we're going to dive into the latest video that they released talking about the May update coming out later on this month. And apparently this is not just bugs. They have improved surface maps, which is a huge thing. Inventory navigation tabs, new gameplay options in the settings menu, ship decoration mode for interior of the ships, and more. So let's get right into this. And they start off by saying Starfield is finally adding drivable land vehicles. Okay, now from this alone, I want to chime in, okay, before I even get into the article, because this is part of one of the main complaints that players have about Starfield. The fact that they have basically nothing to do on the planets, and two things can happen when you explore the beaten paths of a planet. You either get to a certain point and the game tells you that you've reached your limit and you're going to be fast traveled back to your ship, or you'll just be walking into nothingness. Both are very underwhelming experiences, so this begs the question for me, what is a land vehicle going to do actually? Speed up this process? Anyways, here are the highlights. Bethesda is finally adding drivable land vehicles to Starfield. Something fans have asked for since launch, but there's no word on when we can expect them or how they'll look. But we got a brief look at one rover in development during the May update video, which I'm showing right now. You're going to see it towards the end of the video. But anyways, lead creative producer Tim Lamb didn't go into much detail on how these land vehicles will work, but he did mention that we will be able to drive around on planets, plural, so it'll likely be stored in our ship somehow. Aside from that, it's unclear if we can customize it or if there will instead be several default options available. Maybe even car armor. So then they asked, what else is Starfield adding? This month, Bethesda will be completely overhauling the game's infamous surface maps to make them more intuitive and helpful. In the update video, we saw a 3D model of New Atlantis and a space colony, with our ship highlighted in bright orange. It's much easier to see where the map icons fit into the world now. Okay, maybe this is a good thing. Honestly, this isn't the problem. This is what I'm saying. The problem is that you need more substance to your surface maps. It doesn't even matter what you add in terms of a vehicle. If the map is essentially the same, it doesn't matter if you add that. Even on Fallout. Let's go back to Fallout again, like I always reference to. Even with the fact that we had no vehicles on Fallout, New Vegas, or Fallout 4, whichever one, the maps felt like they were alive. And it made you want to just go off and explore different areas just to see what you'll find. Sometimes you'll find rivers or ponds that had these overgrown crabs, mutated crabs, that in that area you can go to a place where their nest was. So you go and explore their nest, or they had like verticality, which was a very good thing. Verticality is the perspective of where you can go up to areas and see the environment from different vantage points. Like they had this one bridge where you picked up this mission to find this group of people who lived in the sewers. So then you would have to go underground, or you can just go off into the distance and find other areas that you would otherwise not be able to find if you didn't explore this. The point is, there were no vehicles in that game, and I had a blast exploring. Either way, I didn't care if I was on feet. Plus, it raised the suspense factor, because I remember on Fallout 4, I went all the way to the east, and it was nothing but open desert. But in that open desert, I saw in the distance the 𝐷eathClaw. There was nowhere for me to hide, and I was low level, so I pretty much had to figure out a way to get to a vantage point to kill the 𝐷eathClaw. It took me an hour or something to do it, but I did it. The point is, the problem is not the fact that you're adding a rover or a land vehicle to the game. It's the substance of the map, which I expressed before in my other video. But let's continue, because they said one of the big complaints about Starfield is how empty its planets are. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? It says walking from objective to objective is often a slog, as there's nothing in between, but there's no way to cut across these distances any faster. That's finally going to change. Yeah, I can agree with that, because I remember I was on this snow planet and I saw this building in the distance and I was just running for a long time to get there. So I see what they mean. But what are they going to do about this? They said it's going to change. And they say in a new update video, Bethesda reveals that the team is working on drivable land vehicles, something fans have been asking for since launch. We even got a brief look at the in-development footage at the first rover speeding along a desert planet. You can see it in the video embedded below at the 4:43 mark. As you can see here, one of the devs is driving it. And finally, they said Update 4 will also include interior decoration for ships, which functions much like the outposts already in-game. You can fine-tune each room individually and even add empty ones, making ship customization far more popular. Lastly, Starfield will soon implement trait respecking and the ability to change appearance for NG+, so you can shift things up with each run. I think they mentioned that they're going to increase the difficulty as well to something like extreme. This is the difficulty level above very hard. But here's the thing with that as well, okay? And this is why I don't understand why they're adding these things without changing the structure of how it works. Because essentially, if they don't change how the skills work in terms of stealth and concealment, it doesn't matter how you increase the difficulty. It doesn't matter which difficulty you add, you're still going to be dealing insane amounts of damage with a few shots while attacking using stealth and concealment. So here are two things. You have the difficulty increasing, which essentially won't do anything if you don't fix the problem that you have with concealment and stealth. Then you have you adding land vehicles, which won't do anything but speed up the process of you getting to a point and them telling you you're going to be fast traveled back to your ship, or you just driving into nothingness. The only thing that they said is they're increasing the different areas, making them more visible with icons on the screen and whatnot. And they said they changed the camera from zooming in, making it more dynamic when you're talking to NPCs. There's nothing that's been said about actually adding more substance to the maps, which I think are the complaints that most of the players have, as opposed to what they say, that players just want land vehicles. I had some hope in this when I saw this reveal. When I saw this video and this article, I thought they were going to add more substance to the planets, giving it a reason to have land vehicles. But I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to see what this does. But that's pretty much it for this update. I'm going to leave a link to the video so you can see it for yourself. Also a link to the article in the description below. Let me know what you think about this down below. Do you think this May update will change the game? Do you think that the developers actually listen and this will add substance to the game, which it needs a lot? I thought I'd just bring this to you and add my perspective. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comment section, and don't forget to like the video if you like this conversation. Also subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'll see you in the next one. Be right out.